Hello everybody, Genghis here. And today we've got something a bit special, I guess at least to some degree. It's an OMNI replay, but I didn't actually play in this game, I wasn't leading. They sent it to me, they are playing against WHYOU. On Ensk, this is Clan Wars. Obviously, since OMNI sent me the replay, I expect that either we win, or it's a really close defeat or something cool. But I haven't, I guess it's not going to be a trash replay, but I haven't seen the replay yet, at all. And yeah, if it's gonna be like a really easy win, I know I'd even upload this and otherwise. But I heard that there was some really nice strategy going on and so on. So I'm really, really curious about what we're gonna see here. And just gonna comment it with you guys and so on. WHYOU definitely also being good clan. So we've got a bunch of mouses, which are definitely the meta right now on maps like Ensk, right? Because they're literally just the best tank for brawls at close range. Like, there is nothing better. E3 can only be better if I cool down or something. So we've got a bunch of mouses with only 100, I guess, as a fill up. Over here. Was 2 T57, I think, as support? No, not even. Okay, so the 57s all go over here. Oh yeah, okay, no, that's 2 T57s that are covering the 1-9s, and you've got all the heavies going here. Basically, I guess they just want to, like, not lose this part of the map control. But he still wants to take the right side to some degree. Okay, so maybe they're expecting WHYOU to camp. Or that is trying to find out if WHYOU camps, right? I mean, like, if this would get rushed, it would kind of get wrecked. But then again, they're all staying really far in the back, right? They would have spotted if the enemy would like be coming with me at the beginning, so I guess then they would have probably stayed here or something. I don't know. But anyway. Looks like WHYOU isn't too much on the right side, right? And okay. We've got Ulap here. Wow. Cheap. Cheap. I see you. By the way, leading this was Bunza, wherever he is. I'm blind, am I not? I'm like literally blind. Or was Jericho leading then? I thought Bunza was leading. Anyway. Definitely wasn't me. So much for my info. But yeah. And Pigos of Arty definitely also helped with leading and so. But so we've got pressure going on over there. They've got 2 113s up there. Okay, that's interesting. So they're basically trying to do some kind of a defense where they've got most of their tanks over here. And up here you've got the building and so on, some other cover. And you're hold down towards this. So the idea is kind of that if they want, like, if we, OMNI, want to push those 2 113s, we have to, like, really push in, because otherwise they've got cover or they're hold down. And if we do that, then all these guys can, like, kind of shoot us in the side and the ass and so on, right? Like, all this shoots us here if we push into those guys. So that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe we can Arty that out. That's kind of what I would hope for here. So that would mean... Was that an Arty shot? Maybe. That would mean we play rather slow. It doesn't look like they have Arty. I'm a big fan, personally, of taking a Conquer GC on Ensk. I think it's one of the most undervalued things. That's also one of the main reasons why I like playing over the right side. It's not so strong on the current meta side. Like, I really have to adapt my Ensk tactics a bit. Like, I also never get the tanks I want, which doesn't help, personally. But, yeah. I also have to adapt to the tanks there are, yeah. Also available on the clans, I guess. But, anyway, I really like having a Conquer GC. And obviously having the right side of the map is really important, because then you can locate your Arty wherever you want and have clearer visions of fire, right? And not just be able to shoot like down one alley or something. Because you can really do a lot of damage. A lot of these positions back here, which you need to be able to defend the cap, there's no way they're Arty safe. At least if you get some crossfire going on. And it's not too hard to outspot or just like spot with some side scraping tank from time to time or from some position hold down. But yeah, kind of my opinion. So we respot the 113 there. Okay. It's rather slow, right? I hope it's not too campy a game. And otherwise I'll try and fill it up with important things all the times too. But I don't want to force forward too much either, if I don't see need for it. I'm curious if we're gonna like rush those guys at some point. I mean, like, I see... Okay, like, let's talk about this. I guess the idea here would be to kind of converge in this area. Maybe... Like, they could make pressure with this in some way, and then at the same time push in with the tanks here. Or the other way around, kind of like put some massive pressure, but you really want to go into this area with the mouses, maybe even driving a bit from here or something. And definitely not through here, because that way these guys can quickly join in the ass when these guys move down, right? Because the issue is if you like push here, you're just far too separated. But for these guys to push into this is kind of impossible at the moment, let's be quite honest. As I go down E3, E4s and mouses, there would need to be distraction first. Otherwise, I mean, obviously once we get that out, you can try to do some sniping from the red line onto these people. And obviously you can use Arty way more, because you have, like, no one, spotting you, so you can just do the bushes and so on with your patches to spot the campers. Possibly, obviously, at some point you can get a guy in camp, but like that, this point is quite far away. I don't know if Arty just hit the 113 again. But quite possible. Okay. Lep is doing a good job here. Maybe a bit exposing himself at times, but keep moving, keep spawning both sides, do your stuff. That's solid. You could possibly even discuss doing blind shots, but to be honest, that shouldn't be fair with this. But like really interesting, just right here, for example, right? You can see on the minimap that it's obvious that this E4 is standing next to that building. There's nowhere else he can be standing, according to the minimap, and it's very unlikely he moved. So you could, for example, if you know, in a Clan Wars game, this is not something you do in a random, but in a Clan Wars game, if you have like a 50B or TVP or something, you could go like here or somewhere where you have an angle, you're out of you know, spotting range, and just like aim, make sure you aim well, and just do a blind clip. Or an ESL. That's the kind of stuff. These kind of positions where you're really sure where exactly he's standing and he has to be hugging the wall more or less, right? Because like that's a smart thing to do, and otherwise he would be exposed. And yeah, you have like an angle from that. At least I think you have an angle through there. I'm not even super sure. But okay, it looks like we arched those 113s again, so that brings us forwards a bit. I have a bunch of mouses. Well, they have 2 mouses. They have a bunch of E3s, E4s. I'm not sure I agree with the Type 5 Heavy. And I'm not sure I agree with the 113 if they want to cam. Like, I'm a huge fan of the 113s, but personally, yeah, they're one of my favorite tanks, ask OMNI. But for this area, 113s can't really use their hold down much, and if in a straight up roll against mouses or E100s, or maybe even 215Bs, and like T57 and so on, they still get outmatched, right? If you have 113s hold down against mouses, they can still hold their own, and that's what makes them so powerful, because many tanks can't even hold their own hold down against mouses and so on, even though, you know, the mouse is a weak spot. The turret is a weak spot of the mouse. When I get front fight, they're not that good. The 215Bs, I don't know, I guess they can work. I guess they can also fail, depends, like if they pen everything or if they get penned by everything. And yeah, IS-4 is definitely a good tank in the current meta, if you don't have mouses especially. Like if you're short of players. It's got the HP, it's got the armor, but it's also got a nice gun and so on. Anyway, so now we're putting out some pressure over here slowly, and at the same time moving up with the T57. As soon as I guess they moved as soon as they saw the mouses relocate or something? Good question. But the perimeter, there's still this 1-1-1-13 up there, so one of them died, right, to our Arty. But the other one's still up there, and doing some crossfire. But I guess the main idea here is really, like, as you can see, we're not, at least for now, like as it looks, right, moving up with everything. We're just moving up with some tanks, but then keeping the rest back and delayed in nice side scrapes. So it's more like we're trying to get attention, maybe some free trades, maybe lock down some movement, if we can get, like, you know, control of an alley, so they can't move, and we can maybe get a tank stuck here, and then later you can peek him with that kind of stuff. But we don't want to go all in because we don't want to get counter pushed, right? So that's why we keep our tanks in like in 2 rows of side scripts and so on. With the T57s countering the 1 line, which is like a really common avenue of. And basically the 1 line is really the only way to rush this, or this, because these 2 small alleys here are just too small for a lot of tanks to come through. So if you run a rush with like, I don't know, 6, 5, 7, 8 tanks, you kind of have to come from the 1 line. I guess the idea is you have like a 113 in the mouse spotting that and the 2 T57 in the back. So it's actually some really nice tactics. Like, I'm learning stuff here, yeah. I'm not complimenting OMNI to compliment OMNI. I'm really, it's solidly done from what I see. I guess the T57 move back here. We only have 1 113 up here, so that could definitely get rushed by something, right? Like, I mean, and the batch chat, but this really isn't much. Especially as the 113 isn't full life, the batch chat isn't full life either. So that's not going to bring us far. But we're slowly getting map control. That's really what matters, and we can now definitely, right now that the other 113 also died to our Arty, holy fuck our Arty, our Arty had like full range to go wherever, and for example, if the Arty wants, it can like just go here, and these are V215Bs have like nowhere to stay safe. I mean, like they'd have to run out, right? But then this position is already completely given up just by having your Arty, and that's what makes Arty so powerful on this map in my opinion. You can also do some really solid damage into this area, and you can also, by standing like more like over here, completely rain down into this, and like it's not hard to shoot 4 mouses clumped up here with a concrete GC down an alley, and it's really tricky to get this kind of a situation on Ensk, depending on the meta and how good your clan is and the enemy clan is and whatever and so on, and you know who has which tactic and what other plans. But normally where you have the map control to shoot them down, unless they really intend to hard camp, which I don't even know was really their plan here, right? Maybe they wanted to be a bit more aggressive, but by having this, you really get all the spots in, and at the same time this, like, you have a crossfire of spots, does that make sense, right? And you have complete liberty of also moving the Arty over here for some reason, that makes sense. So yeah, it's very nice. And this is also way nicer to push from if you manage to do it slowly and like we're doing now. By slowly pushing back the enemies and moving forwards. Because here, if you're really pushing in here, it's really quite tricky, yeah? Unless you have really... either you force the enemies all the way back, so the enemies are standing already all the way back here. And then you can push through here and, you know, the fight is more... you're more pushing here, really. And that's possible. But if the enemies are still standing, like, over here, pushing through here is basically a death trap. Anyway, Relapse does some nice action here, I guess. Does he? Pen? Yeah, 2 pens in a row. Good job, Kappa. New record. 3 shots left, let's see what he does with that. At the same time, we're pushing with the mouses in the front, and T-57s are going around to try and take out the 215Bs real quick. That's a nice ambush. That's nice. I got 40-57 peeking out the 215Bs. Because 215Bs obviously are like, you know, high DPM, low armor tanks, so that's what you want to shoot first, and not like the mouses. If you have an opportunity, right? And by now we've like solidly started cleaning up the map. Wow, the pings are really getting quite... okay. Whatever's happening there. You're shooting heat. Lulapia, aim at the turret side. Please, don't do this to me. Aim at the turret side, you're shooting heat. Oh wow. I really hope you thought you was shooting at VCR. That happens to everyone. Like, if you don't know the heat in a bad shot in randoms normally, then all good. But otherwise, But anyway, we're pushing in slowly, quickly, and all of a sudden we're everywhere, and I guess the T-57's really adding some nice DPM. I would say, I think OMNI setup is better for this. Like, the T-57's really adding some nice brute firepower. And I think I prefer like the 40-57 and a couple more mouse. Actually, do we have more mouses? Not even really, right? Basically, literally the same amount, yeah. Maybe the E100. To like the T-57 and the 113s. And 215Bs. Like 113s here. Actually, no, the 113s here, they were good. The 113s were there, I'd say bullshit. The 113s I actually quite liked, but they got outplayed by Arty basically. I guess they didn't really have a counter for the Arty as far as the 113s were concerned. Then, like, I'm not so sure about the Type 5. And that kind of stuff, right? Maybe the 215Bs. That's interesting. That we actually won in such a high fashion. But I guess masters also give you the kind of like massive HP that they can just take all the damage, and also game is 15-3. It really wasn't all that easily won. We have a bunch of low life tanks too, or at least mid life tanks, including this one. Anyway, let's have a look at the post game stats real quick. Bloop. No Top Gun for you, Kappa. But anyway, just in case you're curious, I guess it's sort by XP. That's like closest enough to that. Let's just sort by damage if you want. Well, 5k with the Arty from Pickles. That's quite impressive, yeah. And yeah, I mean, like 5k, sure, it's not like super massive, but I mean, you basically killed 2 113s more or less on his own, plus a bit more, right? I don't know if he actually killed the 2 113s on his own, but damage-wise, it corresponds to 113s plus a bit more. And he's got like 3 kills, so yeah, that's definitely something that helps out the team, right? It's not like it matters. And yeah. I guess thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, as always, make sure you like and subscribe, and maybe turn on notifications if you want to make sure you don't miss my videos. I upload daily normally. So yeah, that's that. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. See you next time.